Liverpool's season has taken another unexpected turn, but this time the headlines aren't about what's happening on the pitch. Fresh reports have emerged suggesting sporting director Richard Hughes could be on the verge of a surprise departure from Anfield not long after taking up one of the most influential roles at the club. The development has sparked major questions about Liverpool's long-term structure under Arne Slot and Fenway Sports Group, with speculation growing over what might come next for the man tasked with shaping the Reds' transfer future. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Liverpool's recent weeks have been far from straightforward, both on and off the pitch. The Reds' momentum under Arne Slot has stuttered following a string of underwhelming results, culminating in a heavy 3-0 defeat against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium on Sunday. It was another reminder of the scale of the challenge facing Slot as he attempts to steer a revamped Liverpool side back to consistency in the Premier League. The club's hierarchy had backed their manager heavily during the summer, investing an eye-watering £446 million on fresh faces to strengthen all areas of the squad. That level of spending signalled intent from Fenway Sports Group and sporting director Richard Hughes, who arrived from Bournemouth in June 2024 to oversee Liverpool's evolving recruitment strategy. However, even amid that backing and commitment to long-term rebuilding, there has been intrigue surrounding the future of Hughes himself. Reports in recent weeks have suggested that the 45-year-old executive has drawn interest from ambitious clubs in Saudi Arabia, a nation that has already made significant inroads in European football by luring a host of top players with eye-watering financial packages. For now, it is understood that Hughes remains fully focused on his work at Anfield. Yet the speculation highlights a growing trend. Saudi clubs are no longer limiting their focus to on-field talent, but are also targeting the decision-makers behind the scenes who help shape football's biggest teams. Former Manchester City financial advisor Stefan Borzen offered an interesting perspective on the matter, noting that financial incentives could prove hard to ignore if such an offer materialized. With the greatest respect, the money is probably the only reason that you would consider that switch, Borzen explained. I'm sure it's a very lucrative move that would be proposed. It will be a multiple of his salary for a period. It's not just a football issue. Borzen also stressed that lucrative opportunities in the Middle East are nothing new, particularly for executives whose careers are not bound by the same physical limitations as those of players. There are lots of opportunities in the Middle East that people take for the money and for the tax situation, he continued. There's no reason why football should be any different. I think that's particularly on the executive side. Liverpool fans will recall that Michael Edwards, now Fenway Sports Group's CEO of football, was also previously linked with a move to Saudi Arabia before rejoining the club's ownership structure earlier this year. It demonstrates the growing influence and appeal of the region's football projects, where investment continues to reach unprecedented levels. In other news, Konate's Liverpool future has become one of the biggest talking points at Anfield, with mounting uncertainty surrounding his contract situation and growing criticism from supporters following recent performances. Despite being a regular starter under Arne Slot, the French defender's long-term prospects on Merseyside appear increasingly uncertain as he approaches the final months of his deal. Konate, who featured from the start in Liverpool's recent 3-0 defeat to Manchester City, has endured a mixed campaign marked by flashes of brilliance and costly lapses in concentration. His partnership with Virgil van Dijk has struggled to recapture its former stability, and frustration among the fanbase reached boiling point after the loss at the Etihad. Many supporters took to social media to voice their dissatisfaction, with calls emerging for the club to move the player on when his current contract expires at the end of the season. The 25-year-old situation has reportedly attracted attention from European heavyweights Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, both of whom are monitoring developments closely as negotiations over a new deal continue to stall. Konate has yet to commit his future to Liverpool, and growing reports suggest he could be ready to seek a new challenge next summer if terms cannot be agreed. Former Manchester United and Blackburn scout Mick Brown, who remains well connected across European football, believes Liverpool are already preparing for life without the France international. Speaking about the club's situation, Brown said that the Reds have been aware of the defender's shortcomings for some time and are confident they can strengthen in his position. Liverpool are looking at who they could get to replace Konate, Brown explained. They're confident they can upgrade on him because they've had concerns about him for a while, and those were on show again in that game against Man City. There was a definite ploy by City to let him have the ball and then press him aggressively because he's liable to make a mistake. That tells you everything about how he's viewed in that Liverpool side. From their perspective, there are players out there who can improve the team. I don't think they're worried about him leaving. If he doesn't sign a new deal, the club will simply prepare for a future without him. Whether it's Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, or someone else, Liverpool seem ready to move on if it comes to that. Konate's potential exit would come at a delicate time for Arne Slot, whose second season at the helm has been punctuated by inconsistency in defence. Despite an encouraging start to the campaign, Liverpool's form has dipped in recent weeks, exposing frailties at the back that have cost the side crucial points in both domestic and European competition. Slot is said to be eager to address those issues, with a new central defender understood to be one of his key priorities heading into the January window. Among those being considered is England international Mark Guehi, who has emerged as a leading target due to his composure, passing range, and strong one-on-one defending. Liverpool have also been linked with Aston Villa's Ezri Konsa, though any potential move for the latter would prove difficult given Villa's reluctance to sell mid-season. Unai Emery is determined to keep hold of his key players after a challenging summer of negotiations and is reportedly unwilling to entertain offers for Konsa in January. For now, Liverpool's focus remains on turning their form around and rediscovering the defensive solidity that once made them one of Europe's most formidable sides. But with Konate's future unresolved and major clubs circling, the Reds could soon be forced to confront the reality of replacing a player once seen as Virgil van Dijk's long-term heir. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.